Welcome everybody to the first ever Automobilista 2 sprint race on Interlagos. This is a multi-class race with... Oh my god, I can hear myself. That scared me legit. This is a race between the Formula 3 Brazil and the Formula Inters. The Formula Inters being the slower of the latter, as you can see. About 15 seconds slower than the slowest time in Formula 3. We're looking at Anthony Camacho, who is gonna be sitting his final couple of laps. And if you are new to the league, you have been here for quite a while, you might be thinking, why are we doing Automobilista 2? What is this all about? Well, we are celebrating the launch of Automobilista 2 on simgrid, and we will be doing way more races. Bob Damos setting a 131.0, a whole 2/10 ahead of Hytham and Kodak Boris. By the way, I didn't even realize, but look at how close the gap between first and sixth is. Only 7/10 the gap between them lot, with M Flu being about 1.3 seconds off P1. But this is set to, well, to be a pretty good race with 15 cars on the grid. 16 actually, as somebody just joins last second. We've got Robert Carly 02. He's going to be setting his first lap. Hopefully this isn't an outlap, and we'll see where he ends up. And it was not an outlap, and he sets a 154.8 as his first lap. And, well, he'll be hoping that he gets better than that, and he improves on that lap. I hope my cursor isn't... Yeah, don't capture cursor. And, god damn it, I need to close Photoshop. There we go. Boom shakalaka, we back in business. There is a safety car. I'm pretty sure that is me. As being race director, I am the safety car. I have no clue how to use it. And I'm sure actually that's AI. So we'll see. Maybe the safety car can come out if somebody has a very bad accident. Look at Bob Damos. He's set at 130.9. He's improved by a whole 2/10 as... What is going on here? Okay, interesting. Qualifying is now complete, as Robert Carly 02 not going to be able to set a last lap. Sassy old man might be, as he is heading to the third sector. Fastest lap by Kodak Boris, that last lap as well. 131.28. He's in third place now. Michelin is out on the track as well. Hoping to improve on his lap, as he is just in front of that sassy old man. Ooh, that was very, very close. And I wish I could remove this part, but... Oh, we got a nice little map that goes over some parts. There's the timing screens. Absolutely super close. You see Kodak Boris over here, 21.9. He's 2/10 quicker. Who's that in front? Is that sassy old man? No, who is that? I feel... there we go. It's Homeros, who has spun round on his final lap. Ah, okay. So I'm getting told here, safety car should come out for full course yellows. So if we do get a full course yellow because of a big crash or collision, click on overview to remove some more HUD. Overview. Ah! Oh, there's qualifying session over. And we just get teleported into here, and we can see our starting grid for the race. So we've got Bob Damos in first place. He's taken pole position. Oh, no, I don't want to vote to kick. He's in first position. And Michelin, who's actually from Brazil, racing in the Formula 3 Brazilian car as well, and on Interlagos. So pretty much a whole home race for him. He is in third place. Hytham in third on the second row alongside him, Kodak Boris. Then Jack Racing starting in fifth and Jamal Gandor in sixth. Mr. Flu in seventh and Anthony Camacho racing for the British flag. Interesting. He's in eighth place. Then pole position for the Formula Inters is Petrinja. And alongside him will be Miss Tuturlit. Mish Tuturlit, there we go. And Prico Coro Mirko in third place. Then John Gibson in fourth and Roberto Carli 02 starting in fifth. Then we carry on with the Formula 3. Skento, he is in ninth and Homeros in 10th. And Vincent SD starting last on the track and starting last for the Formula Inters as well. Well, that is the starting grid for today, and we will see when the race will be started. I did just see somebody come out of the pits. There we go. We are on the track, and we can actually remove that, and we'll go on the track side cam as Bob Damos. Did he get a bad start? What is going on here? It is not telling me anything at all. Somebody got a really bad start, not even able to get off the grid. Sassy Old Man getting up into fourth place. Somebody just had contact with him. That was Jay Gandor. And Sassy Old Man forced off the track. There's Hytham getting sixth place right off the start. Skento as well up into seventh. Sassy Old Man tumbling down into nearly last. Mr. Flu will be right behind him, trying to get alongside him into the next corner. Down the inside. These Formula 3s are super hard to control. And he's up into eighth place. Sassy Old Man having such a terrible start, sadly. Having contact with Jay Gandor. Down in the Formula Inters, there is a big crash. There is a huge crash. And I think Gibson and Mish Tuturlit and who is that? Prico Comirco having a huge accident. Losing wheels on the start. And I am afraid that it's going to be race over for them quite quickly. Mish Tuturlit not even able to get back to the pits as his rear wheel is absolutely vanished. There he is actually on the grid, on the track is the wheel. Gibson trying to limp back to the pits with no front wheel or front wing. Vincent SD getting away from that. So did Roberto Carli and Petrinja. They are the top three and they still have all their parts on the car. But back to the Formula 3s. We've got somebody coming into the pits. I think that was... I'm just trying to find out. That was Skento coming into the pits. So is Sassy Old Man and A. Michelet. They're all coming into the pits for what is probably a lot of damage on the start. Haytham up into fifth and Jack Racing in fourth. Will be fighting for third with Jay Gandor, Kodak Boris in his own world. And there is the safety car out on the track, probably for, well, these guys trying to limp back to the pits. Roberto Carli into the pits as well, Skento. A lot of people coming into the pits because of this safety car. And, well, this is the first time we ever see a safety car in VGTR. As there is a wheel on the track, and they'll probably have to get that cleaned up before the restart. Yeah, unfortunate stuff. Unfortunate events for the Formula Inters. Definitely not how they wished their race to start. Definitely not the way that we wanted our AMS2 career to start as well. But nevertheless, we carry on as that beautiful Camaro going to be leading the way for the restart. We can go on board. That's not the onboard camera. There's the cockpit camera. That should be called onboard. This is just chase camera. Both of these are chase cameras. Interesting. We've got the roof camera, bonnet camera, and we've got all cameras. But here is the cockpit of the Formula 3. Very cramped, obviously, as a single-seater will be. As he tries to warm up his tires, and we'll see when the stragglers are trying to come back into the pits. There's Prico Cormirco trying to just make his way back. As you can see, he's going about 32 kilometers per hour. Gibson going a bit quicker coming into the pits. He's going about 42. No control, and he's probably going to be in the pits for so long. As we can go on board with a safety car. Going about 42 kilometers per hour. Very slow safety car indeed. If there was Sebastian Vettel racing here or Lewis Hamilton, they'd be saying, why isn't the safety car speeding up at all? Well, it's probably for the reason... Hold on. The safety car coming back into the pits will probably get a restart here. As Bob Damos, he gets a very good restart, does he? No, he doesn't. As the safety car just plows through Gibson. Bob Damos will be waiting on when to restart, and I think he's restarted now. Jay Gandor is left a bit sleeping on the inside. Is Jack Racing trying to go for P2, though rounding outside. Kodak Racing trying to get that position as he goes ahead of Haytham and Mr. Flew. Also in there, A. Michelet and Sassy Old Man still competing for that 7th and 8th place. As behind them, Patrinja gets in an epic start. In the Formula Inters, Roberto Carli 02 still in 2nd, and Vincent SD in 3rd. The Formula 3 of Skento is still down in 9th after his early pit stop. Gibson and Prico Cormirco are still down in the pits, and we'll see them out there quite soon. Or quite not soon, quite late, I think, in the race. As we go back down, Kodak Boris still fighting with Haytham for 3rd place as he's just gaining and gaining through these next couple of sectors. As we can probably go onto the onboard camera and you can see a very sunny afternoon, a very sunny evening, I think, actually. Yes, who's that? That's Jack Racer making a huge mistake. Kodak Boris getting so close to the back of him, as they don't have DRS, these cars, as you can see from the rear view mirror, rear wing. As Kodak Boris goes to the inside, and we'll see a swap for P2. Kodak Boris trying to go on the inside into the first corner. Can he get this position ahead of Jack Racing? Yes, he does. Jack Racing back down into 3rd place. Kodak Boris up into 2nd. And will this be a chain of events, as now Haytham will try and get 3rd place away from Jack Racing? And I've just noticed Haytham and Kodak Boris both having the same liveries on their cars. As look at the huge gap Bob Damos has been able to get himself. As in the background, A. Michelet trying to go on the inside of Mr. Flew. Behind them, Jay Gandor in 7th place. And he's got a bit of damage, I feel, on that car. The rear wing does not look too healthy, as it's still on the front. Haytham trying to get ahead of Jack Racing. We don't want to see a Lando Norris and Leclerc replay as Formula 1. As Haytham now falling a little bit behind Jack Racing. Jack Racing getting a bit of breathing room as he goes very wide out of that corner, trying to get as much of that exit to maybe even get ahead of Kodak for 2nd place. It's up in the Formula Inters, still not that many places being traded. John Gibson back onto the track. So a very speedy pit stop for him. Sadly, Prico Cormirco is still in the pits while we saw his car was completely destroyed. Gibson only losing 1 tire. I say only losing 1 tire. That is a huge job by the mechanics to get that car back going in such a short amount of time. And still, these guys very close. Kodak Boris flying away from Jack Racing. Jack Racing still under pressure from Haytham. for third place. As they try their best going through the next couple of corners. On the bumper camera of Haytham. Not a great camera, I'd say. The onboard is the one which really shows. And also, no paddle shifters on these cars. It's actually a full-on gearbox car. So most of the track, you're going to be driving with one hand, it looks like. Though I'm pretty sure most people will be driving with their paddle shifters in the sim rigs. As Haytham going a bit wide there, losing a bit of time to Jack Racing as they come to the final straight. And who is that with a red... got a red light on their car? I think that's Kodak Boris, and Kodak Boris going a bit slower now. He's lost a little bit of time to Jack Racing. He's got that red light on him. I'm not sure what that's all about. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Kodak Boris has only one hand on his wheel. Jack Racing, all of his hands on the wheel. No wonder. There's A. Michelet now far ahead of Jay Gandor, who's now going to be getting chased right until the end of the race by Camacho, or sassy old man Mr. Flu a bit further behind, and Skento finally passed the slower cars of the Formula Inters. He's back into 9th, and he's setting some very good lap times, a 1:33.9. That is a whole 10th quicker than Mr. Flu, and a whole 2.1 seconds quicker than Anthony Camacho, who set a 1:36.0 that last lap. Not the best of pace, but a possibility that it was just a unlucky lap. You can go onto the map. You can see where everybody is separated. That big white arrow, that is the car that we're spectating. And the blue cars are the Formula Inters and the safety car. I'm pretty sure, at least. As somebody just leaving the race. And I think that was Pico Kromenko. Unfortunately for him, too much damage and falling back so far that not much of a point for him to be continuing this race. As I said, Camacho just having a unfortunate lap that last lap. He is now improving, a 1:34.7. That is 2/10 quicker than Mr. Flu that last lap, though just Skento, also leaving. That was weird. I was just about to say he did a 1:33. He's gaining on the back of Mr. Flu, and he just appears. Anyway, and well, then that leaves Mr. Flu with nobody behind him. He's now officially in last place on the track. Now all Anthony Camacho needs to do is pick up the pace, as he is about 1.3 seconds a lap slower than Jay Gandor every lap. As Haytham still closing the gap on Jack Racing, as Kodak Boris flying away. Who is that off the track? That is one of the Formula Inters, and that was Vincent SD getting out of the way of the Formula 3s. And for a second I thought that might be Kodak Boris, as Jack Racing now under pressure, fully under pressure, as they go side by side into the next corner. And Haytham getting that third place ahead of Jack Racing. Though will Jack Racing be able to get that place back as he goes side by side and round the outside? Can he get this position ahead of Haytham? And I don't think he will be, but under the exit he's got so much pace, and on the inside he won't be able to do it. There is a bit of contact, definitely a bit of contact between the two of them. And he is up into 3rd place now, but for how long? As he's probably got a bit of damage on his front wing. Haytham, lucky to not get any punctures, as he is still going to be trying to get that position, as he's so close. We can see on the onboard as, oh, Jack Racing off the track, and he's made a huge mistake coming back onto the track. There is a Michelin. He's going to get 4th place as well, as Jay Gandor is just going to be a bit too far back in order to capitalize off this. But Jack Racing making that big mistake and tumbling down into 5th place from 3rd. And, well, he's not going to be too happy with himself at all, as there is the Formula Inter car of Patrinja getting lapped. By the way, we've missed something here, because Robert Carley up into 1st, ahead of Patrinja. And Vincent SD and Gibson in that matter as well. Does he have some damage? Okay, no he doesn't. He was just going a bit slow out of the final corner. As we go back to the fight, A. Michelin now going to be trying to close the gap to Haytham, as Haytham last lap fighting with Jack Racing, and now also having to lap these slower Formula Inter cars. With 30 minutes to go off this race. Now, being told F3 has a sequential with stick, Inter has an H pattern. So, if you were driving a... Whoa, this is so close, I can't even get off topic. A Michelin down the inside, side by side with Haytham. He's ahead of him provisionally as they get into the first corner. Will he be ahead before they get into the first corner? Well, I think they will. Somebody retiring from the race again. A Michelin on the inside, and he's ahead of Haytham for 3rd place. Behind them, Jack Racing has caught up a huge bunch as these guys continue to battle. As I was saying, F3 has a sequential with stick, so you're like a normal BGCC car or along those lines. Whereas Inters, the Formula Inters, have a H pattern gearbox like the ones you find in your normal civilian car. It's Jack Racing now trying to get ahead of Haytham for 4th place around the outside, which will turn into the inside for the next corner. These guys made contact early on in this race. Now is going to be ahead for 4th. And who's that? Off the track. That's Haytham. And will, yes he will, Anthony Camacho up into 5th place. And Mr. Flew, will he get that position as well ahead of Haytham? I'm not sure he will. But Haytham having a horrible last corner as he thinking to go to the pits. And he does. Does he have a lot of damage on that car? As Mr. Flew now inherits that P6. And Haytham now down into 7th. And the field now going to be a bit more spread out as Jack Racing try to catch the back of A Michelin. There is about 1.3, 1.4 seconds between them two. As who's that going very slow? Oh, okay, that is one of the Formula Inter's cars. That is John Gibson. and getting lapped. Getting a bit of grass there as well, but overall some very nice cars to race these Formula Inters. No, I will say these Formula 3s are absolutely crazy in terms of pace. So quick. So much downforce. That turbo as well on the side that you can see. Absolutely insane. It's Jack Racing going quicker than his fellow competitor of of a Michelin, but still not as quick in order to get up there quick, fast enough. Though there are 25 minutes to go. There is 25 minutes to go. So now all hope is lost, and I think there's way more opportunities to come for Mr. Jack Racing here. Still saying that the safety car is 13th, even though there is 11 cars on the grid. So somebody must be stuck in retired limbo or something along those lines. Jack Racing now tries to get that gap to under a second. They've got Vincent SD right ahead of them, which is going to be a bit in the way for a Michelin, but not much in the way, as it is going to be for Jack Racing, who's losing a bit of time trying to lap the Formula Inter car. It's Jack Racing consistently going about a tenth or two quicker than a Michelin. As Petrinja, he has had a horrible last lap. Well, he did. It was a 2 minutes lap. As he goes off the track. Wonder if there's any damage on that car, because he's lost that first place, we remember, and now just barely able to keep it on the track. It's Jack Racing now. You can go on board with him. Look at the gap ahead of him as he tries to get back his third place that he has held for quite some time, losing it out after making a big mistake. And there is, I think, either Roberto Carli or Petrinja as he gets out of the way swiftly for these two who are battling for the podium places. And I'm pretty sure the dirty air is very, very noticeable. Obviously, I have about as much Automobilista 2-time driving as some of the other cars on this grid. So, not as sure, but I expect a sim like this to have some sort of dirty air effect. As Jack Racing getting so close. as they come down through the downhill first corner. Jack Racing getting so close to the back of A. Michelin, nearly punting him in the back. Very easy corner to get it wrong, as you have to downshift, brake, and go downhill. So the car really loses balance. And you have to be on top of that, as Jack Racing still trying to get the better exits than A. Michelin. A. Michelin definitely going wide there. And gaining a lot of time on Jack Racing. It's in the background. We've got Petrinja still trying to gain the gap on Roberto Carli, but I'm not sure that will be happening anytime soon. A. Michelin going so wide, he's compromised his exit and the entry for the next couple of corners. Jack Racing now going very, very wide out of the next corner, and now on the inside, he's trying his absolute best here in order to get ahead, but I'm not sure if his attempts are worth it, since he's losing quite a lot of time now to A. Michelin, as he nearly goes and does the same thing that he did last time. As there is another Formula Inter car right in front of them, getting out of the way as they head up and up towards the first corner, where they'll dip right down, and you can see Jack Racing losing that 10th to A. Michelin, but this time not as close. Heading through the first corner, A. Michelin taking it nicely, not letting Jack Racing get the better of him. There's just under 20 minutes to go. And Jack Racing will be hoping for a mistake from A. Michelin. And same goes to A. Michelin. He'll be hoping that Jack Racing makes a mistake. But luckily for Jack, he has enough of a gap behind him to Anthony Camacho that he doesn't have to worry too much of losing positions. But obviously it's not great if you do that, as he nearly touches the back of him as he heads through the third sector now. Amazing track this is. As another Formula Inter will be right in their way. Whoa! That is so close. Who was that? I think that was John Gibson. Getting right in the way of the Formula 3s. And I was thinking there might be contact between Jack Racing and him, but gets in the way, luckily there. It's Jack Racing now right on the back of A. Michelin, as they're going to be heading down the straight. A. Michelin already on the inside. Jack Racing, is he going to be ahead by the time they get into the next corner? I don't think he will be. There you go, there's the gap, so close. As he gets the better exit, A. Michelin going wide out of that corner. Jack Racing, they're not able to capitalize as much. And now heading through the fast right-hander. This is where you have to be just correct. And actually not showing me the gears, the correct gears. It's showing me that he's in neutral gear. I'm sure that he isn't. It's Jack Racing going wide yet again and losing that time to A. Michelin. With 17 minutes to go. Bob Damos looking very comfortable up in the lead. Behind him, Kodak Boris only 4.4 seconds behind. This is the closest battle on the track right now. And I'm pretty sure these are the Dallara Dallara F301s. I think they were made pretty far back now. I'm pretty sure they're like a 2013 model. 2001. Whoa, okay. I'm completely wrong. I think it's 2001. Yeah, 2001 was the F301, which is the one that these drivers are using right now. So, a pretty outdated car, but is still bringing some great racing. Oh wait, no, they're using the F309 from 2009. My bad. The F301 is the one not being used. Yeah, F309 is the one racing. Still though, 2009. Good works. You know, these are the cars without the halos. Still being used as Jack Racing going to the outside of a Michelin, trying to get that position. I don't think it will be able to work as they do go side by side through the first couple of corners, nearly doing a Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. They did. They touch. As they go side by side now towards the next corner. And wow, we are definitely reliving the Formula 1 races over here. As Rowney outside, Jack Racing goes. And the last thing we want to see is a Michelin force and wide. Jack Racing on the inside still. Going side by side as they do collide. But not enough, I don't think, in order to cause any big damage. But elbows out for both of them. As a Michelin not wanting to give up that third place. And I wonder what the stewards will say about that. But definitely giving me some F1 flashbacks to 2022 or 21. Where Max Verstappen went right on the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Door closed right in the middle of the corner and bam. A lot of debris, but not a lot of debris being showered from these cars. Not a lot of aerodynamic pieces on these cars, except for some of the side pods and obviously the huge turbo. The Formula Inter has been active since 2015, and it's still racing nowadays. And I have they made any changes to it then, or is it just, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of situation? Because I think I know one guy who races in the Formula Inters. They do look very similar to the ones that are racing here in Automobilista 2 on track today. As Jack Racing tries to come back. No changes. Okay, so yeah, Formula Inters. Unlike the Formula 1 cars where they change every single year, Formula Inters, no spec changes at all. Since 2015, that is over 8 years now. Oh, Jack Racing! Making some air with a Michelin. Surprised how he didn't lose his front wing, but that made me jump. Just like a Michelin did. That made me jump so high in the chair. Still no damage on either of the cars, though it is 100% mechanical damage in this race, so shows how reliable and sturdy these cars are. As Jack Racing going to the inside, going to the outside, gonna try and make the same move that he tried a couple of laps ago, as he does get ahead of a Michelin, but for how long? And I think he got that position done now, but a Michelin will be pressuring on in the next corner as he goes to the outside of Jack Racing. Jack Racing will be trying to squeeze a Michelin to get the worst exit and the worst entry into the next corner. Jack Racing going wide, but still staying ahead, but for how long? Hey, Jack Racing definitely exceeding track limits there a couple of times already, finding a sort of a exploit as A Michelet trying to get that position back as Jack Racing going wide onto the grass. And A Michelet. Wow. Close racing by these two. With 11 minutes to go. Not much of a change in the Formula Inters right now. But Jack Racing and A Michelet. Oh, Jack Racing going wide yet again. The same corner. He made that crucial mistake. And he's lost that position to A Michelet now for third place. And well, it's going to be the cycle all over again. Great racing by these two. And this is exactly what we like to see. Exactly what we are looking for in these sort of races. And this is the sort of tension that these open wheelers create. There's some Formula Inters right ahead of them. I think that is Roberto Carli and Petrinja. And I wonder if Jack Racing has got any damage at all on that car from that collision with A Michelet. A Michelet getting hurled up and around. Is that John Gibson? Yes, it is. John Gibson getting spun around by A Michelet. And nearly getting beached on the curb. And he's now going to try and come back onto the pits. I see two other F2 cars close on the track. I'm pretty sure that is not sure which two other F2 cars. I think that might be Mr. Flu and Sassy Old Man getting close to each other. So is Bob Damos and Kodak Boris, just a little bit closer. But A Michelet, well, tumbling down into fourth place as a result of that hold-up by the Formula Inter and the collision with the Formula Inter as well. As A Michelet on the inside and Jack Racing yet again taking liberty off that those track limits. Ooh, Mr. Flu. Nearly getting and going into the back of another Formula Inter car. And Formula Inter's getting absolutely punished today. Hatham trying to recover whatever race he has in these next 8 minutes. As the race continues for these two of A Michelet and Jack Racing, that is Winston SD in third. As Jack Racing nailing that line. And on the inside it looks much closer than it does on the trackside camera, as we can probably see here on the inside. A Michelet wanting to go for a move. Jack Racing not going wide out this time, so not feeling that much under pressure. 7 minutes to go. Will there be any more big fights out on the track? As I feel like A Michelet and Jack Racing both have absolutely wreaked havoc on their tires and their cars going up into the air at one point. But good control in order to keep these cars stable. You know, I've tried these Formula 3s, and they are, yeah, they're not easy to handle. You know, it's not a it's not a walk in the park, that's for sure. Especially going down into this corner, it's very easy to lock up. And he's doing absolutely everything correct. Short shifting even. He's going 236 kilometers per hour at the end of the straight. In what is pretty much just a tin can with 4 wheels on the side. As there is another Formula Inter car right in front of them, and will we see a replay of what happened to a Michelin? No, it won't. A boat getting out the way. That Formula Inter. Though Jack Racing did get held up quite a little bit there. A Michelin getting closer and closer. Is Jack Racing doing a little bit of side-by-side? No! Oh no, can the race get any worse for Jack Racing? As I was gonna say, he's doing some side-on action. And now, tumbling down to 4th yet again. 4 seconds behind a Michelin. And while there will need to be some sort of miracle of a comeback drive in order to get that time back in the time that he has in 4 minutes, which is pretty much 3.5 laps, maybe 4 laps, I'm pretty sure. You know, where is Bob Damos? Bob Damos is chilling. Started the racing first. He isn't fast. No mistakes from what I can see. Been setting absolutely banger laps. He's on rails. As he comes across the line, it will be 3 minutes and I think it'll be dead on 3:30. So that'll be, what, 3 minutes is 180 seconds. 210, divide that by 90. We've got about 2.5 laps left. At best, I think. So it will be a struggle. It will be definitely a big struggle for Jack Racing to come back to a Michelin now. But let's not rule it out. As he did go a tenth quicker that last lap. And he's only about 3 seconds behind now. As there's another Formula Inter getting in the way. Actually, no, that's how far away a Michelin is. I was thinking that a Michelin was the Formula Inter car, but unfortunately for him, it's not. So there goes John Gibson. And Vincent SD getting lapped yet again by Bob Damos. Petrinja still in second. And who's that leaving? Pretty sure that was Anthony Camacho retiring from this race. I'm not sure what happened. He's running pretty comfortably in 5th place or 4th and 6th place. I do hope it's not another one of his famous disconnects, famous lap, no, not lap, PC issues that he's had in ACC. because that would be tragic. I do hope that I can get this replay as well. I hope that I have my everything saved and everything all done. As they've got about 2 more laps, 1 more lap to go. Depends on how fast Bob Damos can get to this line. Yeah, they will have 1 more lap to go after this one. We can't actually see anybody who has retired from the race, weirdly. As there goes Bob Damos to start his final lap of the race in the lead. And that'll be the last lap for most of these guys as well. Like Kodak Boris holding up in 2nd place. A Michelet in 3rd. Still in 3rd and actually building quite a gap to Jack Rayson. I wonder if Jack Rayson has worn his tires to bits, to shreds, because, you know, that last lap 6/10 slower than a Michelet. Could have been down to the Formula Inters. But nevertheless, Jack Racing coming across the line, and no, I don't think it was down to the Formula Inters. I do think tires are completely given out for him. As Bob Damos rounds the final couple of corners. And hopefully no commentator's curse here, as he's going to come across the line in just a short while to win the first Automobilista 2 race on SimGrid and the first Automobilista 2 race on VGTR. Making history as the first one ever, as he comes across the line now and wins this race. With Kodak Boris going to be coming across the line shortly in order to claim his runner-up spot in 2nd place. And A Michelet, after all that happened to him, after all of that fighting with Jack Racing, still able to hang on to 3rd place. We'll see what the stewards think about some of the collisions that they had, if anybody does report it. But A Michelet, nevertheless, on the track, does finish in 3rd place, which is all that matters. As Jack Racing will be coming across the line to finish in 4th. And Mr. Flew, quite a way back, he'll be finishing in 5th place. And Haytham will now be finishing in 6th. Roberto Carli coming across the line now to finish first in the Formula Inter class, ahead of Petrinja and Vinson SD, who finishes in 3rd, and Gibson, who will be finishing in 4th. I wonder if tab works. No, it doesn't. Who is racing backwards? What the hell was that? It's Kodak Boris. That is some skill to do that. It's still quicker than the Formula Inters. That's actually so... That's so sad. Still faster than the Formula Inters, even though he's going backwards. And there is the race finished. I'm pretty sure that is everybody who has crossed the line now. And Bob Damos finishes first. Oh, there we go. Save replay. Did I save it? Yep. Bob Damos finishes first with a best lap of a 1:30.9. And Kodak Boris finishes in 2nd. A Michelet in 3rd. That is your podium for the Formula 3. Jack Racing in 4th. And Mr. Flew in 5th. Haytham in 6th. Roberto Carli finishing 1st for the Formula Inters. Petrinja in 2nd. And Vinson SD in 3rd. That is your podium for the Formula Inters. Gibson in 4th. Just missing out on the podium there. Camacho finishing in 7th. And Jamal Randor finishing in 8th. I'm not sure why these two have retired, but it could have been due to being too far away from the action, or overall just not wishing to carry on. But that is the race over. Thank you so much for watching if you have this whole entire race, and if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe and press like. And oh, you just got kicked out of the server, as it does support us, and we will be here yet again next week for the opening round of the Sprint Series and the VCO Grand Finals at Monza, and also the VCO Grand Finals at LSR in Bathurst. Will we see a better race than last time with the weird red flags that happened? But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.